it's Saturday, and that means it's time to talk about some cool stuff. This week, we're talking about the Beatles and one of the most influential films of all time, King Kong. Stay tuned, and if you enjoy the video, please drop a like and hit subscribe. It helps us out a lot, and we appreciate it very much. Thank you. Let's get started. Alright, today's album of the week is very special. This is Introducing The Beatles, released in 1964. It also happens to be the first Beatles album commercially released in the United States. We're going to get into that and talk about how this album came to be, so stay tuned. The Beatles had already released Please Please Me and With the Beatles the year previously in the UK, and were enjoying the growing success of both records. Originally, this American album was going to be an exact replica of the Please Please Me album. But the United States had an accepted norm of albums featuring only 12 songs. So the songs Please Please Me and Ask Me Why were chosen to be omitted. 1 week after Introducing the Beatles was released, Vee-Jay was served a restraining order to cease distribution. But the album was released with a slightly altered track listing and went on to sell over 1 million copies. Featuring I Saw Her Standing There, Anna Go to Him, Twist and Shout, and Love Me Do, this album showcases the Beatles in that early part of their career. Though it probably makes more sense to try and find a copy of the real first Beatles record, released in the UK, this is still a fun piece of Beatles history, and a great album to just put on the record player and listen to. Check it out. Okay, now it's time to shift our focus over to film. And we're looking at a movie today that has influenced filmmakers for generations and inspired audiences for nearly 90 years. We're talking about King Kong. King Kong is a 1933 adventure monster movie developed by Marion C. Cooper and Ernest B. Schoedsack. Cooper was brought to RKO Pictures by David Selznick, and Edgar Wallace was initially asked to pen the story. But his death in 1932 led to Ruth Rose and James Creelman being the scriptwriters for what was at the time dubbed The Eighth Wonder. Retitled King Kong, Cooper and Schoedsack would need a way to bring their monster creature to life. For the special effects, they found Willis O'Brien. Using matte paintings, miniatures, and model making, Kong would be brought to life. Alright, now it's time for our highlighted player of the week. And this week we're doing something a little different because our player of the week is Kong himself and the art form that brought him to the screen. Stop-motion animation can trace its roots back to the origins of photography itself. The method is not unlike any other form of animation. One frame of film is captured at a time, and when put together at 24 frames per second, a picture or a model can be made to seem alive. 1925's The Lost World is often hailed as one of the most significant early films to use stop motion. Later, filmmaker Ray Harryhausen would use the method to create his marvelous creatures and worlds in films such as Clash of the Titans, Jason and the Argonauts, and many more. It's also been used for children's and family programming, such as the Rankin Bass holiday films, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Gumby, and more. Even the original Terminator film used stop-motion animation to bring the endoskeleton to life at the end of the movie. Lending a dreamy and almost mystical quality to every creature and character it brought to life, stop-motion lives in the physical realm, and maybe that's what makes it so special. Back to King Kong. Its leading roles would be handled by Robert Armstrong and Fay Wray. Fay Wray would deliver a performance that has earned her the title of the first Scream Queen of horror films. When King Kong was released in 1933, it took audiences of the time on an incredible journey. It went on to inspire films such as Mighty Joe Young, Godzilla, and many others. Kong has found itself remade several times, in the 1970s with Jeff Bridges, and by Peter Jackson in 2005. I hope you enjoyed this look at King Kong. I still remember seeing it for the first time when I was younger and being awestruck by it and watching the behind-the-scenes documentaries about how it was made. It made me want to be a filmmaker like it has many other people, and it's really an amazing piece of cinema that you just gotta see. The captain is down, and he may be bleeding, but the ship will set sail, 'cause baby I'm leaving. I knew it had to happen now, I could feel it in the air tonight. I don't know exactly how, but I know that the time is right. Roll me over, tear me down. If it makes you feel better, baby, push me around. Well, I don't mind it much, I've been here before, and I've seen it all enough to know that I'll take some more. The battle is over now, the lines have been cast. Oh, it all feels familiar, girl, like I've seen it in the past. Lovers scorned and lovers burned, with hands clenched in rage. They're blinded by a tower of light, we could never turn the page. Roll me over and tear me down. If it makes you feel better, babe, push me around. Well, I don't mind it much, I've been here before, and I've seen it all enough to know I'll take some more. So break me open, raid my chest, know that I always gave you my very best. Wreck my breath, take my soul, and leave my broken heart riddled with holes. Roll me over, tear me down. If it makes you feel better, baby, push me around. Well, I don't mind it much, I've been here before, and I've seen it all enough to know that I'll take some more. That I'll take some more. Hey, thanks for watching the Saturday show, and don't forget to tune in next week. If you enjoyed the show today, hit like, press subscribe, and tap that notification bell. We appreciate it very much. See you next time.